Hello everybody! So, it is just me. Standard kind of now, post-production, let's have a chat, introduction, and all this mumbo-jumbo as I put this together. But, welcome to the second part of our TJ Perkins interview. It's actually quite eye-opening, some of the stuff. It also adds in, our difficulty in recording. But I think it's fun. I think it's quite lightheaded. So, without further ado, without me rambling on, without me talking crap, here is the second half of our TJ Perkins interview. Take it away, myself, I think. Well, we do have some fan questions for you that I believe actually both Mike and Joel did actually put some work in. And
Yeah.
so
Maybe.
please don't say maybe. So I'll leave it to these two. So go ahead, guys.
So I guess kind of with the end of WWE and all that stuff. Somebody asked if you can kind of explain the backstory and everything to the video game persona that you had there in your run.
Okay, so with that, I had always wanted to kind of create I don't want to say character, because character is probably the wrong word. And especially in this day and age, it's real life. You know, we're all layered people, and that's really what we buy into. I thought Cody said it best, that there's really not even good and bad guys anymore. It's really just characters, because we're just buying into individuals. But I wanted to create an aesthetic, and I always really liked Scott Pilgrim and like Ready Player One, which came later. Like, so
Funnily
like,
enough.
I'm wearing their shirt if you haven't seen it, like literally.
Oh hell yeah! So I wanted to create an aesthetic for that kind of subculture, because that's what I belong to. You know, people that are in their like late 20s, early 30s, even their late 30s, and grew up in that sort of generation of retro everything. You know, and so I wanted to create that. And it was during the tournament, actually. I was sitting with Gulak, and he's a good friend of mine. We were sitting and watching some of the other matches in the theater on the screen. And he was like, I really, liked your match or whatever. And I said, thanks. And we're catching up on the show a little bit. And he was like, man, and because I don't really like to talk about like myself or like think about my own work, but he was like, I think he was trying to talk me up, because we're good buddies, and I think he thought maybe I needed some encouragement. And he was like, man, if all of us were video games, I would want to play as you. Like, your stuff looks so cool.
Oh no.
That's usually my biggest criticism, is that like I'll get told things look too easy, and it doesn't look like a fight. And Cesaro, who I'd known a long time too, he used to kind of vent to me that was his problem. People would give him that kind of crap too. And he said eventually he put his foot down and said, you know what? This is how I do things. So this is how I look. And if you don't like it, then whatever. And I was like, you know what? Like, I need to do that too. Like, I look the way I look, and, it works for Muhammad Ali and Tiger Mask to be smooth and whatever. And if people don't like that I'm not gritty and tough or whatever, then that's whatever it is. And so putting all that together and making like a human video game character, that's really what it was. And mostly I just wanted to appeal to like a subculture of our society that wasn't really being appealed to. There's a lot of tough guys in wrestling. There's a lot of like bros and stuff like that. And I was like, what about like nerd culture and like retro culture? Like, there's not a lot of stuff for those guys. And so I just wanted to create that. I didn't want to drop video game lingo. That was something the writers threw on me, and I begged them not to do it anymore. And I used to do different takes and rewrite them, and then they would say, "Oh, okay, that was good, but let's get one, where you just stick to the script that we wrote, and we'll just, we'll keep whichever one's better." And in my head, I'm like, I know you're gonna keep the one you want, so whatever.
Because you probably understand
But,
this culture better than the writers do it in regards to like video games and stuff, right?
Well, yeah, and I didn't want to spam the persona, you know, like
Right.
Seth Rollins has an aesthetic with his music and his presentation, but in the ring and as a character, he's not like a mosh pit slam dancer. He's Seth Rollins, you know.
Yeah.
Shawn Michaels started working. That was another story from the CWC. Is his first day at work was actually me and Rich, our match in the tournament. We were like his first thing he produced. So that was like a dream come true for me because he's like my hero.
Oh, that's awesome.
And I would fly to Orlando after like SmackDowns the next morning and just sit with him and get mentored by him. He became a mentor from that point on to me. And I remember talking to him like, you know, like his aesthetic was what it was, but it's not like he was like this male stripper, like biker character. That's just something that was a small piece that people can visually identify. Like you see somebody dancing around and shimmying their jacket off, that's Shawn. Like you just know that that's Shawn.
Yep.
And so I tried to get them to understand that there needs to be more layers than just saying video game jokes. And I love dad jokes, man. I love bad jokes, but like I think it was messing up their product, and they wouldn't listen to me for a while. Not till I became a heel that they started like letting me just talk. And then I think people can understand that, like, oh, this guy can actually talk a little bit. He's not like handcuffed to that. But that's where it came from. I just wanted an aesthetic for guys like us to kind of connect to.
I got a segue question from what you just said. It's actually on my personal questions. Heel or face, what do you prefer?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know. I mean, I feel like I can help out other guys more as a bad guy, you know. And for whatever reason, I get a lot of very pure and raw, irrational hate from people sometimes, and
Hello.
But I think sometimes I can use that to help other guys, you know, because then sometimes guys like say, like, look at like Ali, for example. For a long time, he had trouble getting over. Like people didn't believe in him. They didn't understand him. But I think being across the ring from guys who can kind of take heat so he can thrive and grow as a good guy, then that helps guys like him or guys like Cedric. And I was happy to take that. I didn't mind shouldering that heat because I know that I have the patience to use it. So sometimes I enjoy that because I know I can help other guys get up in that way. And thankfully, like, you know, Filipino community, they don't care if I'm a good guy or bad guy. I can contribute to them either way, and they still love me. So I like being able to help guys as a bad guy. But you know, the other way is fine too. I don't have to work as hard as a good guy, so that's kind of cool.
It seems like your personality, like straight shoot, is like more of a good guy. So it would.
I have a soft personality. I'm not really an alpha male, so in that way, I don't always like being a bad guy because people want bad guys to be like tough and, you know, whatever, like badass. And like I remember Vince, like a lot of times they would want me to kind of toughen up, and I was like, I don't really want to be a whiner type of bad guy, but I think that there's a different type of bad guy that doesn't have to be an alpha male. You know, I'm not an alpha male by nature, so like I don't like to impose on people. So yeah, I don't know. Either way is fine with me.
I'm the same way, man. Not an alpha male. I'm not afraid to admit that.
Yeah.
Okay, so Joel, what else have we got here?
I do have another couple questions. Out of all the promotions you've worked for, what has been your most memorable match or moment?
Well, I mean, the one we just watched is up there, but obviously, it was really nice. There's just a small match that we had on main events to open before Raw, and me and Cedric tagged. And Cedric Cedric and Lindsay were my best friends in the company. We would ride together, car together, room together, everything was together. And we tagged and we actually won the match, which was big to me because it was at Staples Center in LA. So
Oh, wow.
so Cedric and I quietly broke that hometown curse for me. And so that was kind of cool because I got to do that and with a good friend of mine and at home in a place that I grew up going to. But the Tokyo Dome when I was a teenager was pretty big because it's a place I never thought I would be. That's a record I think that still holds up. I think I'm still the youngest American for New Japan and for the Tokyo Dome.
Wow.
And then the CMLL anniversary show, we did the 70th anniversary. I was 18, maybe 19, and that was pretty big. I was at Arena Mexico, and then yeah, I mean, there's been some pretty special ones that I like. Those are probably up there for the ones I like.
Working at CMLL, did you ever meet Paco Alonso?
Oh yeah, I used to see him every week because we tried to get more money off him.
I heard he just passed. Jericho talked about him a lot. And he said he was one of his favorite bosses to work for.
Yeah, man, he was great. He always said hi to us and would talk to us a little bit. We would see him at the office every week when we came in to get paid, and he gave us a real big opportunity there because we were not just Americans, but we were young. I mean, I was the youngest. I was 18, but like Rocky Romero was only like 20, and Bobby Quantz was maybe 21, 22, something like that. And they gave us a shot in like these main events and in a big storyline, and we were there like doing this all year long. And that just, he doesn't give that to a lot of people. You see guys go down there for maybe 1 or 2 matches if there's like a special showcase, like Prince Devitt, Finn Balor went down for like a special match or 2, the Machine Guns or something. But that's just like individual things. Like to have a real run there and to be part of like the company long term, that doesn't happen for foreigners very often. So, I'm still grateful that he gave us that opportunity.
Yeah, Jericho spoke very highly of him, said that every time he said something, he kept his word no matter what. Like, he never fell back on his word.
Yeah. I always thought he was fantastic to work for.
Awesome. Okay. And I have one more question. This is coming from me as a musician, so this isn't necessarily wrestling related. Oh, we're breaking the rules here. Do you have a favorite band or musician, whether it be for like a workout or just like you just have a favorite band that you listen to mostly?
Let's see. So one of my next tattoos that I want to get is actually a mashup of my 2 favorite bands ever, which is Nirvana and Blink. I want to combine their smiley faces.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that's going to be nice.
Amazing.
Yeah. Nirvana especially, I thought Cobain was always so brilliant, and I always liked, he had such a passive, humble nature about him. Like he never felt the need to explain his music, and he never felt the need to impose what his messages were. If you find them, you do. If you don't, you don't, and that's cool. And I always liked that about him. That's something that I find inspiring in my personal life. That's why I want to put it on. So my side, it's kind of a side note. My tattoos, my right arm is all landmarks of my career and life. My left arm is all inspirations for my life. So that's where I have my Kobe tattoo there. I have an Eddie and Sean and Tiger Mask tattoo there. I have some for my family, and I'll put the one for like Nirvana and Blink over there, just as part of like the artistic influence on me. But I like them. I like a lot of different stuff though. I grew up with West Coast mid 90s, early 90s rap too, so like Tupac and Snoop and guys like that, Dre, NWA, and especially growing up in Los Angeles, like that's that's around all the time. But I grew up with a lot of stuff, and I like older stuff too, Rolling Stones, and I'm really big on like the
rough spot.
It's okay. I like my work.
You're gonna have a lot of work,
It's okay.
but it gives it a natural feel, man.
Yeah.
I was about to.
50s.
Oh, hi.
Oh,
Hello.
Is he back? Oh, there he
There
is.
we go. There we
It's
go.
there we
this
go.
This
Oh.
podcast is going to be in like 7 parts.
Hey, you know what? It's fun to edit. It's gonna be a fun edit.
So TJ, I want to follow up on Joel's question here. I noticed earlier you mentioned like slam and stuff. Do you listen to the heavier music, or just from what you hear in the locker rooms and stuff?
Some stuff. I'm trying to think of some stuff recently that I've heard that I really liked. A lot of that stuff, especially like metal, I don't necessarily catalog. I come across the stuff that I like casually. But you know, I still dig it. I like a lot of the older stuff, like you know, I don't want to say it's like the birth of metal, but like.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. We'll follow up with one more question. I've got a question. I'll follow it up and
Okay.
At some point, I want to tell this man that I was born where he's from.
Oh, wait, I hear something.
Wait.
Oh, there we go.
I can never tell when we lose each other or not because it's.
It's okay.
But yeah, I mean, you know, I'll listen to like older stuff too, like Ozzy or like, you know, Rainbow in the Dark, and yeah, I'll get down on different era stuff.
Dio,
Okay.
like
Well,
it.
we've got. I've got one more question for you, TJ. So
yeah,
if you could at any point for any match stipulation you choose, any dream opponent that you can have, be it they're still around, they've passed, they've retired, whoever, in any location in the world, what would your opponent, what would your match look like, and where would it be based?
Oh man, I got asked this one recently too. I think we froze, so I'm gonna wait.
It's okay.
No, you're good so far.
Good.
Just in case.
Oh, my journal fell.
Oh, now I think we have froze.
Had to pick
We
it up.
have froze. Oh no, we have. This is the best question.
TJ's got a good smile though, even when it's frozen.
Yeah.
You know, it's got a good smile.
Go with.
Leave this in the podcast.
You gotta leave this in. This adds character.
If you want the full answer, go to our YouTube channel.
This is good shit.
Oh no, I think he's froze completely.
Oh man.
Oh man.
We gotta screenshot that though.
Somebody do it. I'm doing it right now.
Oh wow. Oh dear.
I took a screenshot of it.
There we go. And that's gone into the group as well, just to kind of show him. Oh man.
Damn it.
Oh, that's such a good question.
Cliffhanger.
It really is. And now next week on BSPW.
Oh. Can't make this up.
Can't. So if the editing sounds weird, this is why, guys.
Leave this in.
There we go. Oh, we're back.
Oh God! Now he's moving really fast on my screen.
Nothing good. I don't even lie. I really do want.
Oh no! Yeah. Okay, we've got some good service, guys. Hold on. We're good, I think. We're good. No one move. No one say anything. So, TJ,
Librarian gimmick.
what is your favorite? What was your dream match? Oh no!
Oh, geez.
Oh, wait, here we go. We're good.
All right, are we good? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes,
we can hear you.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, sorry. I was looking at my map right now. So.
That's okay. Okay.
Okay. Dream match would be Ray singles in Tokyo.
Oh, wow.
That's what I would go with. Yeah.
Wow.
What's some kind of logic behind that?
Well, there's not a lot of guys on my bucket list that are heroes of mine that I could still kind of get in with. I've already had a match with him. We had a tag match, but I always thought it'd be good to do a singles match with him, and I just think stylistically the guy that I've become and that he's become, because he's become timeless now. He's so great, you know. And I've gone from being like a young, kind of having to be a high flyer, getting older and getting more into like rounded wrestling, and now I have like sort of a balance to me that I feel like that would be a good match to have. And he's one of my heroes, and I feel like Tokyo would just be a great place to do it because of the type of pacing that I think we would have, and it'd be kind of a cool atmosphere to do it in. So
yeah, wow. Not gonna lie, I'd love to see that match.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
I would probably try to be there. Like,
yeah,
I could go to Tokyo for once in my life.
Well, so we kind of, the whole point of the podcast and the platform that we're building is to give something back to the community and to try and bring positivity. So, you quite clearly are all about that, TJ. So we are wondering, is there anything that you kind of would like to let the community know? Anything you have coming up, or any kind of good work, anything at all? We would love to hear it.
Well, I mean, outside of my wrestling schedule, which is, that's just my work and whatever. But personally, like, especially with the Filipino community, like I've reached out through like there's a organization called SIPA, based in Los Angeles, and it's Filipino based, and we'll do. I've done a lot of like I did a holiday toy drive with them, and I attended like their anniversary gala and stuff, and some openings for different like places where they had like small businesses opening and just things like that. And I try to incorporate myself with them as much as possible to help out and to kind of reach out more. And a lot of that community involvement is stuff that is really important to me, and that's a lot of the stuff that I was hoping to be able to use my platform on, when I was in WWE, and even now, like, to be able to contribute to that, because like obviously like they've done so much to inspire me, and in my line of work, being in like sports and stuff like that, like we don't have a lot. Like we got like Pacquiao, and that's like Joe Coy,
Hell yeah, I love
and
Joe
so
Coy.
I thought it was kind of a responsibility to me to be able to. Yeah, I always thought it was a responsibility of mine to build that bridge for like artists and professionals of Filipinos of any kinds, and then also to be able to give back to the community in like non-public eye sort of ways, So I like to do a lot of that. So, for people in the Southern California area, like there's a lot of stuff like that is always ongoing with me. And if you ever want to get involved, so you can look up SIPA and check out what they're about and what they got. That's a good way to start, and I'll probably see you there if because whenever I have time off, I usually will go and do work with them. And then my touring schedule and all that can be found on detonationkick.com, and I got like tons of dates. I think I had, from the moment I started in May until I want to say like November, there's like 73 dates, I think.
Wow.
that are on the schedule. Some of them are listed, some of them I haven't put up yet. We're just ironing out the details. So and chances are I'll be in an area that whoever's listening will be in, and even in the UK. So, and there's a lot of that, and then like my brand line and stuff that I had started, I wanted to be able to kind of like put out some like streetwear style stuff, just kind of stuff that I grew up on, and that's really other than that, man, I just play video games all day. I'm not
Nerd. Well, TJ,
PlayStation, Xbox, or PC?
PlayStation. I used to have them both, but
Good man.
After my 360 died on me, and Microsoft not really having a great solution to that problem for customers, I was like, man, I'm never going back to Microsoft.
Microsoft, you're letting me down. You're letting me down. I'm an Xbox guy.
Sucks for you.
I had the first 2 generations of it, and I don't know. After that, I was like, PlayStation just offers more. I feel like it was just more reliable for me. And the next gen too, I'm told, because some of my friends are developers at 2K for like NBA and stuff, and they said that I guess the PlayStation 5 is almost like a complete generation above the next Xbox. So I'm gonna stick with PlayStation because the hardware is like for example, when the next NBA 2K comes out, my buddy was telling me they have to make a version for PlayStation 5. And then the other version is going to be for like Nintendo and Xbox because that's how big the gap is. So,
wow.
PlayStation is virtually Apple, and Xbox is Android. That's just.
Yeah. So like the next gen, Xbox is going to be more like Nintendo Switch. Like the other versions are going to be for that, and then the super high up ones are going to be for PlayStation because the gap is like, I guess, huge. So I'm actually kind of excited to see how that goes.
What game are you currently playing right now on the PlayStation?
I'm trying to finish some of the side stories on Resident Evil 2, the remake, and then I'm always on like Overwatch and Fortnite with like my party chat. Like I got like Willie Mack and myself, Lindsay Dorado, and some guys all on like a party.
Oh,
so,
nice.
Whenever we jump on, that's usually like those are usually the ones we'll do if it's with a group. I like Dead by Daylight too in terms of group settings because we were all on Friday, but now Friday stopped updating. So
fair enough.
But yeah, Resident Evil 2 I'm on, and I'm probably gonna get started on Days Gone. I've been putting that one off, but
that does look. It looks pretty sick. That game itself.
Yeah.
Okay, well, TJ, I just want to wrap this up really by first off saying thank you for for your time. We very much appreciate it. And also thank you for coming on to BSPW. I'm so tongue tied for BSPW. We appreciate it. All 3 of us appreciate it. A whole audience will also appreciate it. I know that. Yeah, I'm blown away. It's so good to see someone so entrenched in the community as well that is just giving such a big positive outlook on everything. So thank you, TJ.
Well, thank you guys. It's my pleasure to have been on, and you guys are awesome. So I'm a super laid back guy, and this is one of the more pleasant podcasts I've been able to do because you guys are so chill and cool. So thank you very much for having me.
Thank you.
Appreciate that
very much. Wow.
Thanks for the kind words.
Everyone.
Sorry for my detours.
That's fine.
Oh, it's gonna make everybody laugh.
So everyone at BSPW, remember we have our community page that has come off our Facebook page. Remember, we are at official BSPW over at Twitter. From there, also, you will find our YouTube page, Brink of Sanity Pro Wrestling Network. Go and follow all of them. Give us some love. Give some good feedback. And you know what? Come and join this family. We want to give you positive stuff. We want you to enjoy it. So, guys.
And TJ, drop all your pages.
Of course, yeah.
Oh, Yeah, I'm not too terribly complicated. I have Twitter and Instagram. You can find me at Mega TJP, and then you can find my brand line and all my touring schedule and everything on nationkick.com. And I thank you for following. Without you guys, I don't have anything to do. So you guys really make what we do possible, and I appreciate it.
Well, guys, it's been a while since we did the TJP interview, but I mean, wow, how did we pull that off?
We're awesome.
I have no clue. I mean, I'm still over here in shock that we pulled off that, but
I
he
love,
was an
I like,
awesome guy,
he
man.
was, and I love Mike's humble opinion there. I mean,
MJF over here.
yeah.
Hey, 5 episodes in and we got TJP. I'm better than you.
We're better than you, and you know it.
Yep. You know it. They know it. We know it.
I'm not gonna lie, that in dead honest to God seriousness, it was incredible. So I mean, I learned a lot. I mean, what about you guys?
Yeah, that was my first real, I guess, not at a wrestling event, kind of behind the scenes ride along kind of thing. So it was definitely humbling.
He definitely went into some few pointers that he even said on the podcast, like, I've never talked about this before. And it was really eye-opening to hear him talk about certain things that that he's never expressed on any other platform. So
I mean, I saw him. I quite literally saw him a week later, here in the UK, as I kept saying, and he said like he assured me he has never like rewatched the cruise. Not never, but he's like rewatched it maybe once before, which like the cruiserweight classic end the final match. He's watched it maybe once before, but he'd not watched it in so long. I think he said he watched it maybe a couple of days after it aired, and that was about it. And so what he was seeing again was, as he said, he was reliving it. And I mean, it's big. That whole thing was big to have TJ on here. We can't thank you enough, TJ. And we can't thank everyone else. We had a lot of people share and comment and all of the promo stuff, which is great.
The questions that we got without them knowing we were getting questions for TJP, that worked out very well. There's a lot of group involvement with that.
I feel like there was a lot of participation on the outside after we dropped the episode, and we want to thank those people too that shared and are part of this family that we have going on right now.
Speaking of which, good time to make the announcement. BSPW is sponsoring an event August 30th in Vermilion, South Dakota. It's the Midwest All Pro Wrestling event. It's a charity event. National Guard Armory out there. Advance tickets are $10. If you go day of, it's $15. They've got wrestling going on. I heard there's some music also going on. We are on the sponsor. You'll see us. We've been promoting it on Twitter and our Facebook page with a bunch of other people. Supposed to be loads of fun. I
mean, you're hoping to go, aren't you?
I'm trying. I want to get out there since we're sponsoring it. I want to try to get out there, meet some people, show face, shake hands, smile, kiss babies maybe,
Please don't kiss babies. We don't need a lawsuit. Plus, again,
Fair.
so the running joke here as well is, Mike wants to get out there, which is fine. The question is, will his back allow him to?
I throw out my back pushing a rotting lawnmower for those of you that aren't in the know of this situation. I've been bedridden for a few weeks. So, it's when I looked it up, I want to say it's a 6 or 7 hour flight from Tampa to, I don't know if I'm pronouncing the city right, but Sioux Falls. I don't know how to actually pronounce.
Don't look at the
That's
British
pretty
guy for
close.
this. Like,
Yeah.
don't look at the British guy. I'm like, hey, America, you're all together, aren't you?
I mean, it's a weird spelling, but it's like, it's about a 6. I think the fastest I saw was 6 hours. The longest I saw was about 7.5, which I think has a lot.
Probably got a layover.
Yeah. So if my back's all right, it's really just coming to that point. I'd like to get out there. I'd be staying with a friend of ours, free, I guess. I hope. Get out there, meet some
I
wrestlers.
just looked it up on the map. Now I know where South Dakota is.
Look at that.
From in the middle of nowhere.
Literally. But
and there's
yeah,
North Dakota.
You would not catch MJF anywhere near that place because that place sucks.
I
you know it.
I don't think MJF would ever go anywhere Midwest, Northwest, maybe the west side of things. If you go to Cali, Northeast, New York area.
He doesn't like poor people, and that just sounds like. No offense to anybody that lives there, but
I think he considers everybody poor. Like, I don't know. God, I would love to meet him.
What the fuck just happened? Like, I'm sat here looking up where the fuck South Dakota is, learning more about your damn country, and you suddenly just start sucking MJF's dick.
Yes.
Right. On that note.
You know it, we know it, and he knows it.
This is a call out right now.
No, MJF, it's not. No,
we want
it's
you
not.
On here.
Oh, God.
We want him on here. I would love to trash talk him.
Ooh.
Anyway, we're going to end this here before we end up with a lawsuit. A lawsuit. I am not having a lawsuit because of Joel's white drinking beverage. I can't say. But we all know what it is. And no, we're not stating it. Lawsuit. Anyway.
It's a neutral color and something that tigers have that they scratch with.
Anyway, right. It's been lovely. Thank you very much. Again, thank you very much to TJP. Very much appreciate it. We are very much looking forward to the event in South Dakota.
Yes.
And MJF, Joel did legit just call you out. God help us all.
I did.
Anyway.
It happened. It happened.
And other news, guys, we're working on things for the YouTube channel. We've got some individual projects, if you will, that's still going to kind of coincide with the brink of sanity, but just other fun things for you guys to look into, ideas that we've been pitching for a while. We've got the next, 10 shows planned out, I guess, if you will.
Yes.
There's somebody that I know. His name is Lou. He's a referee. And he wants to be a part of the YouTube show. And I told him, we'll have to talk about that. But if there's a guy named Lou Sass that shows up on the YouTube show, I didn't recommend him. He's not my friend. This is what happens when we don't do a proper production meeting. It goes to chaos and literally drives me insane. Hence, brink of sanity. Hey! Anyway, folks, that is myself saying goodbye.
I'm not going to do my mean thing this time.
No, I don't plan you doing a mean thing. I was kind of pointing to Joel to say goodbye. We're not insulting anyone. So that's a goodbye from me.
I have a question. Can Lou Sass sue us?
I don't know. He might.
We've called out
He's
two
that kinda
people
guy.
now. Can
He's
they?
that
Can
kinda
he
guy.
do that?
That's a goodbye from me.
I'm out,
can
guys.
we can mention people.
Will
They're
you
not gonna
say
listen to it.
goodbye, Joel?
Goodbye.
Thank you.
Goodbye, Joel.
Bye.
Bye all.